I'm at the Fort Wayne Museum of Art, and they just opened up their newest exhibit, the Art Deco Glass, which is basically an exhibition through internationally renowned glassworks. We're going to take a tour. Come on. To discuss this exhibit further, I have with me the president and CEO of the Fort Wayne Museum of Art, Charles Shepard. Hi, Charles.
Hi.
Nice to see you. Yes. So this is really exciting, and I think an exhibit that's perfect for spring, as you all just launched.
Indeed.
Yeah, so share with me the inspiration behind this type of exhibit in particular.
Well, I felt like, number one, this relates so well to the contemporary glass that we do, but it takes a little step backwards in time when glass had to have a function as well as be beautiful. So this glass, all of it had a function, but it was more modern, starting off in the 20th century than Art Nouveau of the previous century. This is updated a bit, and it was competing with Cubism and a lot of other modern trends.
And I know you love glass.
I do.
King of glass, I think I called you before. So,
so.
If it was up to you, this whole place would be filled with glass. So I love that you kind of brought glass in a different way. So we explored the sculptures, but as you said here, this is more usable, functional glass that's bold and vibrant and has a different story that goes with each.
It does, and it can make an important, impactful difference in how your interior of your home looks. Think of these various vases and bowls filled with the fruits and flowers and other decorative elements. It would have been very high-end decorating.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's walk around and learn more. Let's do it. Well, look at this here. This is a beautiful line. I understand this is Charles Snyder.
Yes, and all of the companies that are represented in the show are beautiful, but these are among my very favorite.
Yeah.
There's a complicated method for the creation of this because you're going to have hand-blown glass, and then you're going to have it etched and cut and sanded and polished to get the pattern to come out. So you'd start, and you know glass, so you're going to understand what I'm saying. You start with a shape that is the yellow color, for instance. Then you're going to have some little granulated glass crumbles called frit in the red color. And you're going to roll this around in the frit until it melts into that. Then you're going to let it cool and etch back into the yellow with your acid. That's pretty complicated.
That is, and such a layered process. And what Charles was referring to was, we've been learning about glass on the show, which has been so exciting. So when he said this was glass blown vases, I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. And adding the color, it's such a process, and the heat has to be so hot. And as you said, the detail and the etched acid just really pops in this. And these pieces, what year? These are like 18th, 19th century?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, the other thing that's interesting is that an artist today, thinking of the more like sculpture, one could be this way and one might look a little different, might come out a little different.
Right.
These are factory artists, so this piece, when you do it, has to look like that, and then I have to make sure I copy you and get it exactly right.
Yeah.
So we have to be good.
I love that. All right, let's keep looking.
Okay.
Look at this, Charles. I love this. What is this collection called?
This is the Dom Nancy collection.
Okay.
And different from what we've looked at before, because this is going to be blown into a mold. It's going to be thicker, and it has to have that thickness because if you notice, the depth of that pattern is a lot deeper. That's what they call deep acid etched. And so everything's got to be heavier and thicker to take that, and it's the length of time that the acid is left on that it's actually eating into that surface. And then they've got to figure out how to take it off and make that nice texture in between those beautifully polished ovals. I don't know. I mean, I can't imagine doing it.
Right.
And yet these people did it on a daily basis.
Right, and
So-
what I love about this line is it's so regal. You know,
Yes.
it has just a real elegance to it, and I can see it just being used as, you know, pop of color throughout the home. And you said this is mold blown, which is fascinating.
You know what you want for patterns, so you have somebody carve that into a mold and get that ready. Now you're going to get a gather of glass on your pipe, and you're going to blow into that mold. The air is what's going to give you the hollow nature, whether it be a big form or a smaller form.
Yes.
Probably a lot harder on this massive vase. Yeah.
A lot of blowing there.
A lot of blowing, and that's a lot of glass to have at arm's length on a 6-foot pipe to get it blown into that.
Wow.
And that pipe that's hot too. So,
Just imagine this technology or this creativity so long ago.
yeah,
Sets the tone for modern
the
artists.
start of the modern, century.
Yeah.
Or what was the modern century. And it looks modern. It doesn't look
It
like anything
does.
you saw in the century before. It's a very different way. So if we want to have our home look more upscale and in the time,
Yeah.
this is what we want.
Elegance, I love it. All right, let's keep
Beautiful.
looking. Ooh, now this is giving me just a whole different vibe.
It really does have a very different vibe. Now this is Lalique,
Okay.
probably the most famous name in glass because of their success and how stylish it was.
Right.
But made in another whole way. In this case, you're going to have a mold, but you're going to press the glass into the mold. So you've got your mold giving you the exterior detail. You're going to have a center that's going to be smooth, and then you're going to take your molten glass and press that centerpiece down into that and be ready to get the honey almost dripping
Yeah.
off the top of the edge, and then cut this and buff it and make it beautiful. It worked particularly well for the figures Lalique like to use, the animal figures. Also in that more abstract one, those
Right.
bubbles come out so nicely.
I love it. It just gives so many different dimensions, and it makes the piece really creative. And really, these are statement pieces more so,
Yes.
in my mind. You know, someone's going to come and you want to talk about it and kind of explore the history behind it.
And these were said in the time to be among the most expensive of this kind of glass.
Really? Yeah.
So it's going to cut your buying audience down to the top 3% or something.
Yeah.
And that's going to be kind of exciting too. As a business model, I hope that works.
Right, yeah. And it's so nice throughout this exhibit to be able to see it so up close and personal that you can just really, just like you're feeling the texture and just through your eyes.
Yes.
So yeah, I love
And
this.
I usually like to not have the vitrines on,
Right.
but it actually dresses everything up.
Yeah.
So I'm fine.
Yeah.
It looks good.
It keeps
And you
people
can
from
see
touching.
plenty. Yeah.
Right.
Well, people want to touch
Yeah.
things. There's a tactility here. They think, no, this is not. You don't want to be touching glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, I see something else that's really catching my eye. So will you share with me
I
what it
will.
is? All right.
I will.
Let's do it. Ooh, looking at this, this is different. It's given a fresh, vibrant feel to it with light color accents.
Well, it's a surprise in contrast to some of the really bold and bright ones. Its subtlety is gorgeous, very contemplative, very calming, and very celebratory of what we would find in nature. The whole notion of the bear out in the wilderness of the North Pole, and the subtlety of the little dragonfly it might be in your garden.
Yeah.
And nothing's too big in scale. So I suspect these are a little bit more affordable.
Yeah.
I think the blue would be popular with everyone.
It is. I just imagine with it being a press mold glass, the colors that is like a little rainbow of
Yeah.
a pattern between yellow and blue. Like, how do they get that blend?
They're going to have to, when they're getting the glass gather ready to go in the press mold, they're going to pick up just a little bit of a couple of different shades. Not, you don't want much, as you say, because it's so subtle.
Yeah.
And you want them to not be as bright and bold as the colors on the other pieces.
Okay.
So this is going to be a sky blue little frit and a little bit of orange and a little bit of yellow in there.
Right.
And I would think you've got to master that pickup to get that right before you get it in the press mold.
Yeah.
And go.
And it's so great, this color scheme kind of transitions into other pieces that you can have around the home. And this just really pops. I mean, it's just, kind of describe this for me.
Well, this is as subtle as the coloring in the pieces that we just saw, but they've added the patterns, in this case, of a Man Ray, and the tails going to the center and fanning out to go to the rim. Below, swimming, perhaps mermaid.
Right.
So
Kinda
you've got the
abstract
added effect of the etching and the carving in there, along with the subtlety of the color. This top plate, to me, must have been the most difficult because the color band is just in the strongest in the start of the ribbing.
Yeah.
And it's clear in the middle and goes to clear on the edges. That's just amazing to think of the control factor that artist had to have.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, really cool. The geo patterns and these smaller bosses are so awesome. So everyone can really come and experience this exhibit through August and come and learn and explore. We just covered a couple of displays here, but there's so many more amazing things to see.
You can spend an hour.
Yeah.
You can maybe spend more than an hour.
Yeah, and I have to mention the Deco Night that's going to happen on April 13th, which is a really fun mixer to come out. There will be light hors d'oeuvres, cocktails, music, and just really an experience to come and gather, as a community and enjoy it together.
A beautiful gathering around beautiful objects.
Yes.
Which it doesn't get any better than that.
That's perfect. Thank you so much, Charles.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you for the tour.
Happy to do it.
Yes.
You know.
And if you would like more information about the Fort Wayne Museum of Art, we'll have their website listed below, and check out their Deco Night. We'll be right back.